So, hi, I'm Amber from Influencer Updates on Instagram, and wow, do I have a treat for you. There are 6 stories that I've listed for tonight, including Tammy Hembrow, Ashy Bines, Skye Wheatley, Brit Hockley, Sarah's Day, and Indy Clinton. And since I listed these 6 stories, people have messaged me saying, what about Sopha Dopha and her ex Jordan? You need to talk about that. And what about Mitch Orval and Tiny Truck Tribe? So I think there's actually 8 stories I'm going to cover tonight. So I'm going to cover them a bit shorter than I usually would because there's just so many. So the first story is the biggest one of the week, and that is that Sopha Dopha accidentally, well, not accidentally, but she revealed Tammy Hembrow and Matthew Zukowski's wedding invitation on her YouTube channel. So she got it in the mail and she flashed it to the camera. I'm sure that she wasn't thinking that there would be a website listed on the bottom, which then was a public website and anybody could access all of the details of their wedding. So the video was quickly removed from YouTube, and I mean, a lot of people screenshot it and it was going around the internet, including being sent to me, and I posted it to subscribers with all of like the, I guess, important details blanked out, such as the exact date. Like, we've been told that it's in November, so that is still true. It is in November. But yeah, the interesting details that I found on the website are that it says that children are not invited, which really surprised everybody. Outspoken have covered a lot of this, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but repeating what you've already heard. But yeah, everyone was surprised that children aren't invited, being that Tammy is so family focused. So Tammy has since addressed that on her TikTok and said that her children will definitely be at her wedding. But it surprises me because she has so many nieces and nephews that she's close with, and I imagine they'll be there too. And then she was saying that she doesn't want children there because she wants her guests to have a good time. And I just thought that was quite funny, like that she's saying that you can't have a good time if your kids are there, or she's saying she doesn't like, I mean, I'm sure she didn't mean any of this, but like it just sounded quite funny that she said that she wants her guests to have a good time and not bring their children, especially when it is a destination wedding being in Byron Bay. Also, I didn't realise it was a destination wedding at the time because I thought that's so close to the Gold Coast, which brings me to my next point that Tammy and Matt have put a wishing well on their invitation website, and they've said that, you know, they don't want gifts, and if you want to, you can make a contribution to their wishing well, which, as all of the media outlets have picked up, Tammy is worth approximately 50 million Australian dollars, according to the Australian Financial Review. And yeah, like I posted on my page and I was saying it really surprised me that she would ask for money, being that what is she going to do with the money? Like and how much do people give? Like I wrote on my page something about if I was to go to that wedding, like how much would I give? And I think that I would feel that I have to give $2,000 per couple, so like $1,000 per person. Like normally at a wedding you'd give like 100 or 150, but I'm like, if you're going to an extravagant celebrity wedding, I imagine you'd have to give like $1,000. But Tammy also addressed that in her TikTok, and she was like, there's absolutely no way she's expecting $1,000 per person. It's just if people want to give money, there is the option there. The funniest thing I have heard is some people were saying that it's going to be a cash pot for Matt because he would earn a lot more money than Tammy, but I'm positive that would not be happening. I'm sure it's not just a cash pot for Matt. It was just funny that people said that though. Speaking of Matt, so currently like he has been doing his podcast in Melbourne and also I believe working for his dad 3 days a week in Melbourne. And he was saying he's going to move to the Gold Coast, but he's looking for work. And someone pointed out to me that he's been leaving notes on Tammy's desk at the Zukowski office each day. And they're wondering if maybe he has now started working at the Zukowski office. Maybe he's like doing warehousing or could be doing anything really, because it seems that he is spending a lot more time on the Gold Coast. So maybe he has moved there and then he's just coming back to Melbourne to do his podcast with Anna during the week. Not sure. But yes, that is the wedding invitation leak drama. The website is now password protected. And luckily it is a surprise destination, so they hadn't put on there like exactly where the wedding's going to be or anything. So that's all good. Oh, also Matt did ask me to take it down off subscribers, which I did because I just felt bad for them. I thought they've gone through so much lately, like with all the hate and everything. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll take it off and I'll just like screenshot the wishing well and the kids bit, because that's the bit I wanted to talk about. And that's not like revealing any details kind of thing. But in the meantime, of course, the Daily Mail subscribed to my channel and they had screenshotted and they've now released it on the Daily Mail. So it is out there. And like I said, other people have screenshot it and it is on other websites. Okay, that is a long story. The next one is Ashy Bines. So Ashy Bines has revealed that she is now closing down her clothing business called Baseline. She's still keeping the app open, which is also called Baseline. She's been running the clothing aspect for 4 years, and that is her second clothing business. She used to have a business called Toned. And yeah, so 4 years ago, she started Baseline. It is now closing, and that she's saying that it is due to health issues. So she mentioned recently that she had stress-induced vision loss. So she was very scared about why she'd lost her vision. She went to hospital. She had a whole heap of testing done, and they concluded that it was stress-induced. They did also find a brain aneurysm at the time and said, oh, it's small, like, see what happens, like, come back for further testing later. So she did go back for further testing. She went on her own. She thought, it's going to be fine. It's just a small brain aneurysm, no worries. And she was then told that they need to immediately book a surgery date to have the brain aneurysm removed. And she was crying. She's like, whoa, like, I didn't expect this was going to be such a big deal. And they're like, well, it's a ticking time bomb. Like, it could rupture, I suppose, at any time. And, worst case scenario, you die. So she did book in the surgery. They said, let's book it in. You've still got time to think about it, but just book it in for now. So she has. And she also explained she won't have to shave her head and they will operate through her wrist, which is so interesting to me. Like, how are they going to remove a brain aneurysm through her wrist? But that must be the technology these days. So that's very cool. And yeah, so on her podcast, she released like on Instagram like a little excerpt from her podcast, like talking about all this stuff, and somebody commented, did you get the COVID vaccine? Lots of people have suffered similar injuries. So somebody here is saying that they think her brain aneurysm is due to the COVID vaccine, but interestingly she wrote that no, she never had any COVID vaccines. So I just thought that was quite funny to like shoot down the conspiracy theorists, even though she's probably a conspiracy theorist herself, being that she didn't get the COVID vaccine. But that was just an interesting little bit of information there. The next story I'm going to talk about is Skye Wheatley's to-do list. So I haven't seen this mentioned anywhere else online, which is interesting. She did a Q&A a few days ago, and someone said, roughly when will your new cookbook be released? Love the first one. And she said, it's on my to-do list. And she showed this gigantic to-do list. It's a bit hard to see because my phone's very smashed. Gigantic to-do list, and it's got all her things like Baddest Bod TikTok, which is a tanning brand, Chef Good Selects, which is those home meals, and she had to like select which ones she wants to purchase, I suppose, or purchase for free. Podcast with Ella. I'm assuming that's Dom and Ella from Sit With Us podcast. I'm not sure. It goes on. So she's talking about all the things she has to do. And then down the bottom, she says ebook 2.0 approval of images. So that's referring to the question that was asked, when's the new cookbook coming out? And then underneath this, like she's circled it, and underneath, if you look really carefully, she's written, take before photos of weight loss journey. So I'm not sure why she would be trying to lose weight. She is a very tiny person. She has talked about her binge eating issues, and yeah, I just feel like maybe it's going to be one of those like 6-week challenges or something. Maybe it's going to be for her own ebooks. She did talk about losing 5 kilos in the I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here jungle, which she then got out of the jungle, and within like a week or two she put back on 6 kilos. So yeah, it could be something to do with that, but it's just interesting that, yeah, that's something on her to-do list. And then the final one is take photos of face for surgery. And then she's actually whited out something now that I look at it closely. So she's whited out the final word. So that, yeah, it says take photos of face for surgery, and she's whited something out. So yeah, I'm not really sure what face surgery she's going to be getting, but it seems that something is coming up for Skye. Okay, next one. Brit Hockley is engaged. So, wow. Brit Hockley and her now fiance Ben Siegrist, I suppose you say it, Siegrist, they met on Raya. met on Raya 1.5 years ago. So that is a celebrity online dating app. You need to be invited to join it, but a lot of influencers are on it. So yeah, they've been together just over 1.5 years, and they've been doing long distance that whole time. Ben is from Scotland, is from Switzerland. Switzerland, yes, but he's currently living in Scotland and playing soccer, or they call it football, for Celtics. I'm not sure. I can't pronounce any of these things. He's currently playing soccer, and Brit is obviously in Australia. She is doing her podcast, which is one of the highest downloaded podcasts in the country. She's also doing a radio show, and she's also doing a whole heap of sponsored content. So they are both very busy people, and they only see each other like maybe every 6 months kind of thing. And yeah, they got engaged just recently. So that is big news, big exciting news. She's posted some really cool videos of her sharing the news with her co-host Laura Byrne, also with her co-host Mitch. And yeah, they're very funny and very cute videos. I love those. She also revealed on a podcast recently that she earns slightly more than Ben. And if you Google Ben's income, because he plays professional football, all of his income stuff is public, because teams have to disclose how much they're paying the players and how much they're buying them for and stuff. And it says here that his base salary is £780,000 a year, £780,000, which equates to 28,000 Australian dollars per week. 28,000 Australian dollars per week is his salary. And Brit says that she is earning more. So between them, they're earning millions of dollars per year. So yeah, I can see why neither of them want to move countries. So I did do a poll today asking if people think they're going to get married in Australia or Scotland or Switzerland. And the majority of people predict Australia will be the country of marriage. And then I said, what country will they choose to reside in? And it was very split. Nobody can work out what country they're going to reside in after marriage. Maybe they'll continue to do long distance. Not really sure. I suppose they're not sure at this point either. And then, Brit's talked about freezing her eggs. I'm guessing she's going to want to have children at some point. So, yeah, there's a lot of things to watch with their relationship. Okay, next one. Sarah's Day reveals the gender of her upcoming baby. So if you don't want to know, make sure you just don't listen for a little bit. But she did a vlog just recently. She's been filming it over the last 6 weeks. And she did reveal, her friends made her a cake with the blue or pink colour inside, so that her and Kurt could cut the cake and see what colour it was. And they discovered they are having a third boy. So Sarah said she's not unhappy that she's having another boy. That's going to be great. She's always seen herself as a boy mum. 3 boys is going to be just so fun. But also she's unhappy that she's never going to get a daughter, because she's said that this is going to be her final pregnancy unless there is an accidental pregnancy later on. But yeah, she's sort of just sad that there's never going to be a daughter for her. And her son, Fox, he really wanted a sister. He's been saying that for a long time, and he was really upset, and it was so sad. He cried in the vlog, and Sarah was so good with him, of course. And I feel like she's really so family focused lately. I'm really enjoying her content. But yes, they're having a third boy, and Fox thinks the name should be Storm. She also did an interview with Indy Clinton this week, and yeah, they spoke a lot about family sort of stuff. And Sarah said she's showing her children a lot less in her vlogs lately, which I have noticed. And I just thought she came across very well on the podcast interview. There was nothing juicy in the podcast, but yeah, she just came across very well. And then the final update I've got here of my 6 is Indy Clinton. So she has spoken about rehoming her dog. So she went on her stories last night and spoke for ages, saying that hypothetically, if somebody needed to rehome their dog of nearly 5 years, their dog has a history of not biting, but nipping at children, not family member children, but children, out in public, I suppose, but has never drawn blood. What would you do with the dog? Would you rehome the dog, or would you I guess, keep risking it, because she said that also this hypothetical woman, the hypothetical woman is her. She said that she trusts her dog Billy 110% around her own children, but recently Billy nipped at one of her kids for the first time because one of her kids was just sitting on the couch patting him, like not, aggravating him or anything, and he just nipped at the child. And she asked her followers if she should rehome him, as the other option is keeping him, but she would have to keep him tied up in the yard all day. He wouldn't be allowed inside with the kids, and that's not any way for him to live. He is a Kelpie, he's a farm dog. And yeah, so today she said she has tried to train him before. She's got a trainer in, and the trainer said you can't untrain a dog to not like kids. He just needs to be homed with somebody who doesn't have children. So yeah, she's sad about that because she's always had dogs and she's had this dog for so long. But she has said to her followers, if you live near me and you want a Kelpie that isn't good with kids, let me know. I need to rehome this dog. So it seems like a very quick decision that she's saying, he nipped at my child and now we're rehoming him. But yeah, that's that one. So the 2 bonus stories that I didn't mention, I'll just quickly go over. Quickly, it's been 17 minutes. Mitch Orval. So as we all know, I spoke about it in the last few weeks of lives. He has launched a new e-commerce business called Tiny Truck Tribe, where he sells remote control forklifts for children. So Aussie Influencer Opinions, they did a deep dive into the strange things that have been happening with this business since it launched, and it was very good. They've still got it as a highlight on their page. So if you want to go look at that, Aussie Influencer Opinions is the page. And then I've added a few more things to my subscribers here. So I feel, what have I written here? Oh yeah, so he started off with a scarcity marketing tactic where he said there's only 100 forklifts available and there's 1,400 people on the wait list. He then showed about 1 or 2 days later that he had sold 26 of them. Well, it says 26 orders, so maybe someone's ordered more than one, but I doubt it. So let's say he sold 26 of them. And he went on to say that he's done no paid marketing. It's all just been organic. But I sort of thought, well, it's not really organic. Mitch's promotion of this website and product, Chloe has also promoted it. His other famous family and friends have promoted it. If you were to pay for that sort of marketing, that would cost tens of thousands of dollars. And he was saying he'd made $14,000 of sales, which wouldn't be a profit. That would just be the sales figure. He'd then have to take out the costs. But that would be running very much at a loss for a normal person. And I say this because he's promoting this business as something that he has opened up with Freedom Club, the coaching business. And he's trying to say, pay Freedom Club to help mentor you, and then you too can set up a website like mine and make all this money. He also has been showing screenshots of money that he's making from his secret website, but in the top corner, it says Freedom. And I sort of think, if he had a secret website, why would it be called Freedom? I think, now I'm probably just reaching with this and I have no proof at all, but I feel like because it's a secret website, he could be either photoshopping these screenshots or maybe he's using Freedom Club's revenue figures and pretending that they're his own. I don't know, but it just seems a little bit dodgy to me, just with everything else that's been happening around this business. He obviously has some very good connections because 9 News Gold Coast ran a story about this new business that he has launched, which I've never seen the news run a story about a new business that's launched with one product. It's so random. Good on him. They mentioned that he also has a business partner called Hayden Lowen. Good on him for hustling and using his network. This is really good for him. He was also on the Today Show the next morning, which again, these are prime shows kind of thing. What have I said here? Oh yeah, somebody commented on the video saying they cost $87 on Alibaba. And he wrote, thanks for confirming you have no idea the cost and process of manufacturing minimum order quantity. So I do actually agree with Mitch. Yes, they're $87 on Alibaba, but you've then got to factor in shipping, and he obviously has to make a profit on these. But yeah, at 575 Australian dollars, I imagine that would be a sizable profit. Then, in addition to the 9 News Gold Coast and the Today Show, Kayla Itsines then promoted them the next day, or maybe even the same day. So I don't know if he's sent her one for free or if he's paid her. I imagine he hasn't paid her. I imagine he's just sent it to her. But yeah, so she's promoted it to her, 15 million Instagram followers. And then somebody... Oh, Hayden Richardson. Oh, yeah, that's not the same guy that he owns it with. Hayden Richardson has commented saying, bro, they know he just drop shipping them. And then Mitch replied, come through the warehouse, brother. And I thought, this is interesting because from what I remember, Mitch has been telling us that this is going to be a drop shipping business where somebody else holds the product and then he just like resells it. So that way he doesn't have the cost of holding the stock. And that way, if it doesn't sell, he doesn't have to like be left with dead stock that he can't move. And you obviously do get a lower profit margin for that. But yeah, I believe he has been saying it's a drop shipping business, but now he's saying it's not. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things that aren't adding up with this business. And Aussie Influence Opinions agrees, like the stuff they've written is also worth looking at if you're interested in that story. Then the final bonus update, so many, is so Sopha Dopha. It was probably a week ago now. She posted a TikTok video saying she has her own business, dream car, investment property, and it's probably because I don't have to pay for everything for you anymore. And everybody immediately was like, okay, this is about your ex Jordan, who is an influencer as well. And then Jordan bit back saying, you know, like it's ridiculous that she's saying all this stuff. She's bullying him. And then Sam Guggenheimer, who used to be besties with Sopha, she replied to Jordan's video saying, people know how much of a good human you are, Jordan. And that's interesting because Sam and Sopha have been seen hanging out again recently. So I thought they were back friends again, but I'm guessing after this they won't be. And Sopha replied to that comment of Sam saying, don't forget when we went to dinner when I first moved to Melbourne and you said don't date him. Everyone in Melbourne doesn't like him. I mean, I think that is a little bit petty, but also I'm living for it because I feel like Sam is always in drama lately. Like, it seems that she's always siding with the guy and she's losing her girlfriends over these split relationships. So I think she's just not a girl's girl, which is interesting. But yeah, so I'm glad that they're letting this all play out online. It's quite funny. And then she went on a different Facebook group, Sopha did, and she was saying, what did she say here? It's funny how all his friends are commenting when they were the ones saying stay away and warning me not to date him. I should have listened. Now they're telling me I'm still obsessed. So yeah, it's all playing out online, and I mean, I'm surprised Sopha has done this because she does usually stay away from drama, but obviously that's what she wanted to do. And yeah, it's been very entertaining. I will just add back to the wishing well story. I think that it was really interesting. Outspoken Podcast spoke about it. I listened to it today, and they mentioned that it's interesting to have the wishing well when majority of the wedding will be sponsored. And I thought that that was a really good point as well. So it's not like they need money to contribute to the costs of the wedding. It's just, yeah, it's interesting that I still just can't get past them doing a wishing well. And I know it's totally normal for the majority of people, but I just didn't know celebrities would do that sort of thing. Okay, 24 minutes. If you've hung around, thank you. That was 8 updates. It's been such a busy week. Let's see what people are saying. Did anyone send you the BS written about influencer updates in tea time this week? Yes, that was sent to me. And interestingly, like, I don't want to read stuff about myself because why would I? Like, it doesn't achieve anything. It just might put ideas in my head. But interestingly, I was sent it and someone sent it to me and said, it's weird because this person, like somebody wrote like a hateful comment about me and said, you know, does anyone follow influencer updates? Like, she's so annoying, like blah, blah, blah. And interestingly, like the comments that they'd screenshot were positive. Like, people were sending me stuff and it was like everyone saying, oh no, I actually really enjoy her channel and I subscribe to her. And yeah, it was quite interesting because usually when someone starts with like a negative post, I find people tend to gang up on someone, not just me, but like anyone. But yeah, it was interesting. Thank you if you were one of the people who wrote something positive about my page in the Tea Time Facebook group. Oh, I just accidentally waved at somebody. Emilee's kids are terrors. Emilee Hembrow's kids, I'm guessing that is. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. something was going around recently on TikTok where Aaliyah was screaming swear words in the background of a video. I think she was probably doing it knowing someone was filming. And I mean, it's probably age appropriate. I don't know. I don't have children the same age as Aaliyah, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy that no one was even telling her off. But also, they were probably distracted. We can't judge from one incident. Emilee did show that today that she's got an au pair who was turning 23, and her profile is public, but she never shows her face. So I thought that was interesting. I believe she's French. I think that Emilee has said that before. It says in her bio, New York, Paris. So yeah, maybe she was like French but living in New York, and now she lives in Australia with Emilee. What else? Yeah, someone here saying they've never been to a wedding that guests' kids were there other than the ceremony. Totally agree. Again, I think the wishing well and the no kids thing are totally normal for most people, but it just surprises me because Tammy is so family focused and always has like a whole family at her house and like all her nieces and nephews, and I just can't imagine them not being at the wedding. It's just very surprising. But that doesn't mean they're not going to be at the ceremony. Maybe they'll be at the ceremony, but just not the reception. People, yeah, a lot of people are saying this, that maybe the wishing well should have been a charity link rather than like a personal fund link. But yeah, don't know. I don't know. And yeah, people are going to have to be paying a lot of money to get accommodation for the destination wedding. That's another good point. So usually when you have a destination wedding, you wouldn't then give a gift in the wishing well as well. People saying here that Ashy Bines would have sold her baseline clothing business if it was profitable. Well, yeah, interestingly, she has said it's closing for now. So I guess that leaves the opportunity to maybe open it again in the future. But yeah, I do agree that maybe, I don't know why she couldn't have stepped back. Like she says that she's so involved with baseline and that is her day-to-day sort of job. But yeah, I don't know why she couldn't have just hired somebody to make those sort of decisions and just sort of stripped back her role a bit. But then she said that, yeah, she just doesn't love it anymore. Like she doesn't love going to work and doing that. And yeah, I don't know. But then, yeah, she could have sold the business. Don't know. We'll never know the whole truth, I suppose. But yeah, I do believe that stress is the big reason why she has closed it down. But then, yeah, maybe it wasn't as profitable as what was worth it for the stress, if that makes sense. Like it could have been profitable, but just not worth selling. A lot of people saying it's an excuse to shut it down. Yeah, someone's saying here that they said weeks ago on here that baseline was struggling. I do remember that. I mentioned that in my subscribers just a few days ago, that people, or one person maybe, has been saying that they think it's struggling. And I was like, no way. Like she's just launched into pajamas. Like she's expanding the range. Like it seems like it still must be going really well. And then, yeah, they were right. She has closed it down. Skye can do no wrong. So relatable. Her to-do list is classic ADHD. Well, actually, I think that ADHD, are they not list writers? Because maybe this is like her attempt to get her ADHD brain all on paper, which is a great idea, like to get it all on a list so she can tick things off. But it also made me realize that she is so busy. Like, I know people say influencers do nothing, but I think they honestly look so busy. Thoughts on Tori De Jong being back with her toxic baby daddy? I mean, I don't remember when they broke up. I haven't followed her that long, but she did have a FIFO husband. I think husband, Josh, I think his name is. And yeah, on her stories tonight, he is back and they're like all touchy-feely. So it looks like they're back together. So that'll be interesting to see if she talks about that. Oh, Skye has spoken about fox eye surgery. So maybe that's the face surgery that she's taking the before photos for. Yeah, so fox eye surgery is when they get like surgery to lift their eyes back like this. Could be that. Wouldn't put anything past Skye. Sorry, don't know why that camera angle is I like that. Anyway. What else? I should start a podcast. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like trying to stay in my lane. I have limited time and I like to focus it on doing this live every Friday night. I really, really love doing it, and I love posting to my subscribers every day. And I've been posting a little bit publicly again just this week, and it's a matter of time. Like a podcast would be a very, very big commitment. And I think that Outspoken honestly do such a great job. I love listening to theirs, and they cover a lot of the same things that I would cover anyway. People talking about Brit and Ben's wages. People saying she doesn't take $28,000 after tax as a wage. Well, yes, that's correct. Like that is a gross wage, the $28,000 per week for Ben. And yeah, obviously after tax would be different, but that's just how we say our wages in Australia. Sorry, what is going on here? I can't get that to stay up. Okay, maybe I'll just hold it. What else have we got? I think I must have covered all the main stories because there's not a lot of like new stories popping up in the comments. Sophie, Kachia and Abby Gilmore friends again. Technical issues, sorry guys. So Sophie, Kachia and Abby Gilmore, they have started commenting on each other's posts again, which is surprising. Like they were really, really good friends and then they had a falling out. I don't remember why. And they have started commenting on each other's things again, which surprises me. Like I wonder, I'm sure they haven't just started commenting. Like they must have had like a rekindling of their friendship in real life to then put it online. I'm not sure, but hopefully we'll hear more about that. Tammy Hembrow's toxic diet culture post today. Okay, I haven't seen that one. I'll have to have a look after this. Can we talk about Posy Poole's fringe hack for content? Yeah, that was another thing that was addressed on the Outspoken, like the subscriber episode, is that they noticed that Tammy was cutting Posy's fringe in the iPhone. So like Posy was looking at the phone and Tammy was standing behind her and using the phone as a mirror and then hacked her fringe really short. And then they were like posting jokes about it, and it's a bit of a weird flex, isn't it? I mean, I would hope that they didn't just do it for content, but she looks adorable either way. Thoughts on the Shameless girl Zara comments on not wanting kids at all? Okay, I haven't actually seen her comments, but I mean, we'll just put her in the influencer realm with Karina Irby and Ali Gonsalves and Lauren Curtis. Like there's quite a lot of influencers who are open about not wanting children, and I think that it's probably a good thing because there's probably a lot of people that don't want children and now they've got people they can relate to, so I think it's good to be honest about it. Mitch's segment on the Today Show didn't go well. Carl was talking over the top of him and the female host went to hop in one of the trucks and said it was flimsy. Oh wow, I didn't see that. That is so interesting. I'll have to see if I can watch the whole segment. What parent would pay $500 odd for a kid's toy car? I'd say a rich parent. I know that wouldn't be in my personal budget, but I mean, going to Tammy Hembrow's wedding and putting $1,000 in the wishing well would be. If they're selling tickets, I'll buy one. I also found it really weird that Sopha Dopha was even invited. I didn't realise she was close with Tammy or Matt. I'd be interested to know who she is close with and why. And hopefully she's still invited to the wedding after the accidental leak of the invitation. And I would love to know what happened after the leak. Like, did Sopha call Tammy or Matt? Like, I just don't know what would have happened. Zara and Michelle have been open for a long time about their journey to decide to have children, as well as a few other influencers. It is definitely less taboo and an important conversation for women. Yeah, and I mean, Laura Henshaw, she's been talking about it a lot lately. She did a whole series on her Kick podcast. But she has said that she does want to have children, eventually, just not yet. But yeah, I think it's a good conversation to have. And honestly, like listening to everyone's reasons, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I don't want children either. But then I realise I have two, so it's a bit late. Yeah, actually someone else is saying here that they have a child themselves and they appreciate that it's not for everyone and it shouldn't be an expectation. Definitely. What else have we got? More people saying I should start a podcast. What is Tea Time? So Tea Time is a Facebook group. I think it's one that you have to be invited to by someone else who's already in there. I don't think you can search it, but there's like 170,000 members and it's just anything that gets posted in there. Like usually it's personal tea, like, oh, my boyfriend cheated on me, what should I do? Like things like that. But yeah, it's a really good Facebook group. Oh, someone here has just said, Tea Time is a stupid Facebook group. It's ridiculous. I really like it. It's really juicy and interesting. Carla from Bankstown saying hi. Hello. Love Carla from Bankstown and their episode on Space Invaders. Space Invaders is my favourite show, and when I saw Carla from Bankstown on there, I was shocked and excited. It's very cool. Ashy is very focused on Hideaway. Yes, she is going to spend a lot more time focusing on her, I guess, moisturiser brand, Hideaway. What else have we got? I swear Indy never liked her dog. It's sad it never came inside. I don't know why she ever got one. Her dog doesn't make her money like her kids do. Very sad. Okay, so interestingly, when I heard about this rehoming a dog story, I was like, okay, this must be hypothetical. Indy doesn't have a dog. And then some people sent it to me and they were like, no, she does have a dog. And they scrolled back 5 years ago and showed when she first got her dog. But there's only been one post since then with her dog in it. So yeah, she doesn't show her dog very much. She said that as soon as she had Navy, the dog showed aggression towards him and she's had to like keep him away from children and stuff. So yeah, I guess that's why. And like if she's going for walks with the kids, she can't really take her aggressive dog that might, you know, nip at another child or something. So maybe that's why it seems like she never liked him. But yeah, it's really sad, of course. Kat Clarke and her family moving away. I totally forgot about this. So yes, they've said this week they're applying for visas to move away, and I'm assuming it's because they want access to the TikTok Creator Fund. They spoke on the Nikki and Lucy podcast recently about how Australia doesn't have a creator fund, and in Australia, as a TikToker, you make money by doing sponsored content. Whereas in like America and other countries, you get paid for the views of your video. America is going to be banning TikTok in the next few months, so unless it's sold to a non-Chinese owned company. But I reckon she might be moving to Singapore. That's my guess. She was there recently and caught up with like Roxy Jasenko and Pixie Curtis. So I have a feeling that might be where they're applying for visas for. And yeah, that would be why they're doing it. I'm guessing. She said it will be in the next year. Sorry, I've been talking for 40 minutes. This is so crazy. There were just so many updates for this week. It was a very busy week. Okay. Lots of the same comments that I've mentioned. Have you listened to Kayla Itsines' new podcast? I've listened to a few episodes. I just find them too short. I liked the one that she did with Leah Itsines, and like it sort of started and then it was over and I was like, oh, okay, I kind of wanted more. But I've noticed she's done another one with Leah, so I do want to listen to that. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. You should join the Outspoken Girls on the Outspoken podcast while Kate is on mat leave. That would be so fun. I'd love to do that. I could do like one story for the week. Or no, because they do twice a week, but yeah, you know what I mean. Do you think Tammy is changing her wedding date or location? No, I don't think she would be at this point. Okay, I've caught up on the comments. So thank you everybody who joined this week. It's dropped down to 294 people now because I've been talking for so long. But I will upload this to YouTube with like all the timestamps. So I'll do that now and upload it soon. If I didn't answer your question, please send me a DM because I love talking about influencers and that's where I learn everything in the DM. So I will talk to you all soon. Thank you. Bye.